check my own Twitch channel. It looks like we're set. All right, so just making rings again for those that haven't seen it. I have some sterling silver rings. I have some gold filled rings. This is, you can't really see that this one's gold. This is gold filled, and what that means, it has a layer of gold, and it's not just plated. It's like about, I don't know how thick it is, but it's an actual, if you look at a pipe, it's like a core of some other metal, and then it is an outer layer of gold. And I really like them that way because they kind of hold up to wear a little bit easier. So I like it better. It's way better than gold plated. Gold plated, you can rub the gold off pretty easy. So what we're doing today is just cutting these synthetic opals. I already cut them down kind of size. I have two colors I'm doing, a blue color and a white color. And I'm just going to cut them down to size and shape them, and hopefully I have a goal to make 6 rings. So the first step, of course, is I have this one I've already marked. So I'm going to set these to the side because I'm going to cut this one first, get it fit in the ring, and then I'm going to use this as a template, kind of. So the fun part, and I am out of the alcohol that I use for this. Don't try this stuff at home. It's probably not the safest. Now I have to break this apart because it is stuck on there. Use one of my little... I like that one too much. The problem is it has this wax on it that is stuck. Dang it. Well, if I get it really hot, maybe that wax will burn away or melt and I can get into it. That's probably pretty hot, so I better just wait for a second. So this is just an alcohol lamp. So I just use normal off-the-shelf isopropyl, however you say that. isopropyl, whatever, I'm not even going to say it anymore. And we use alcohol lamps because it's a lower temperature flame than oils and things like that. So it's a little bit safer to work with your rocks, because super high heat will cause damage to your different stones. Find a place where I can just shove this. That's how I take care of my stuff. Now I can handle that a little bit easier. And I need to push. Ouch. I need to get this wick back up through the middle, which is kind of being a pain. Now that's going to soak up the alcohol. We'll wait a couple seconds and start. I'm just looking for the liquid to get up to there. It's almost there. All right. I was wondering where my fans went. The chat got super quiet. I need to turn off the big fan. All right, now I have a big flame. We're ready to get going. I'm going to try this one with a toothpick and see how well that works. Just because it's kind of small. So I'm going to use a toothpick. And I need more wax. There it is. She can't even see me. But I'm glad she thinks I'm a teddy bear. I actually have this tape stuff somewhere, if I can find it, that I kind of want to try, but I don't know if yeah, it turns out that Facebook updated their privacy policies, and so I had to delete my channel and add it back to the streaming platform I'm using to send to multiple places. So that was surprising, and to get it added back, I had to stop the stream. So hopefully it didn't cause too many issues. I figured you and Lauren were the only ones watching at that point anyways, so I was pretty safe. I'm not worried about losing you guys as audiences. Now let me zoom it out for a bit, because this part's a little boring. There we go. Now you can kind of see me. And then when I start working on it, I'll only. I know, you and Lauren were the only ones. I have to do this more often. Now I think I have a few more people, but they're not messaging me. Either that or Facebook isn't sending me messages, so I'll have to check that. This is the boring part of adding wax to the top stick. Again, I'm using a little toothpick because the end product is only 6 millimeters wide, and that's not very big, so I don't want a big stick in the way, so I'm just using a little tiny toothpick. And now I have that ready. This is the piece I'm working on. It's going to be white. And then you want your wax, you don't want it burning, you want it nice and melty. And some people don't even do melty, like they just get it so it's pliable. But then they get their stone really hot so that the heat from the stone will kind of bind the wax to it. With opal, synthetic opal, I don't have to worry about it so much because I think it can handle heat a little bit without cracking. But if you're doing natural opal cracks really easy under a lot of heat. So you have to be careful. And so I usually try to get the wax kind of liquidy and then the opal hot enough that it'll bind to it. So I think hopefully that does that. And now I let that cool. Once it's a little bit more cool, I'm going to shape it so that it's flat. And I think I'll hold off. Actually do that one as well while I'm waiting. Well, let's do a blue one so we can see what the blue ones look like. So I'll go ahead and stencil this on there. These blue ones are, I could probably get multiple opals out of them, but I don't want to take time to go and cut them again. So we'll just go ahead and use it as is. So I'm using my 3D printed stencil again. It's pretty nice to have a 3D printer. I use it quite a bit. I like it. Okay, so this one, now I'm just gonna, so now it's a little off center, so I'm gonna carefully heat it up again, just so I can mold it so that it's straight and flat. And I'm using the, ouch, that's hot, ouch. I'm using the bottom as my guide, because I want the bottom straight. Because the whole thing will be straight once it's done. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And that looks good. So now I'm just going to set it up here for a bit, let it cool down more while I get this one ready. This one I can already tell is going to be a little bit annoying because it's starting off as a larger stone. I'm going to make another toothpick stick, and for that I just cut off the tip so that I have a little bit of a more even surface to work with. Yeah, that didn't cut off very well, but it should still work. So I'll get some wax on this one, and then once I have the blue one going, well, that one will be ready to start cutting. Yeah, even Lauren isn't following, unless she's the one on Facebook that's not chatting. Hopefully I can see the Facebook messages. Oh, hey Kiera, how's it going? Yeah, I can see that then. Great, thank you. I messed this one up. It's splintered. So we'll just go ahead and start with the white one because that one is ready to go now. It's cooled down enough. So, oof, missed, and it was hot wax. Yeah, I can get that out later. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going on this one. So I'll zoom back in so you guys can see what I'm doing. That's a pretty good shot, so turn on the wheel. Again, I start on this side and I work my way down. When I'm just shaping it, I don't really need to go down. I just need to get rid of all of the white stuff around the. And I can even use this really big one. It's probably about time I get new wheels. This one has probably worn away most of the grit, and so I'll use this one to get close to the circle. So you can see I'm getting closer and closer. Kiera, you should text Sarah and have, I know for some of her kids were interested in cutting stones. I forgot to text them. Can you text Sarah and tell them that they can see this? Or I guess Lauren. I don't know if Lauren can see this. But I think they would like to watch it. I might text them here in a bit. Right now that I'm getting closer to the circle, I want to be a little bit more careful to get, to remove less stone. Alright, so now I'm going to move back to this other one so that I don't accidentally remove too much stone. And I'm also trying to keep constantly moving so that I don't have any ridges or anything that would prevent a nice, good circle. Hey Toby, how's it going? Last time I streamed, I think I cut some of the opals that I got from you. I kind of miss that you don't have those anymore. It's hard to find those good ones like that. Now that I'm pretty close to where my mark, I'm actually going to start checking it in the ring itself to see how it looks. And so I still have a ways to go, so I'm still pretty good. I don't need to worry yet. Getting closer and closer. You'd think by now I'd be fast at this, but it's still pretty slow, I guess. Yeah, if you find some, let me know. I would be happy to get some more from you. Right now that it's almost fit, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it almost fits. So I'm actually going to take it to this wheel. This wheel, let me show you guys. I'll turn this off. This wheel and the rest of these wheels are, the brand name is Nova. And what's special about them is that they have this spongy surface behind them. So right here you can see it's kind of a spongy surface. There it is. This is a hard wheel. Like there's no, it's just metal. This is a spongy surface, which what lets me do that is it lets me push into the wheel a little bit more, and I'll round out the edges a little bit better. So I can make a better circle because of this one. So my paper towels are clear over there. And I'm actually going to, once this one's done, I'm going to use it to mark the other ones because I don't trust my 3D printed stencil very well. So I'm just rotating it, trying to get a nice good circle. We're getting closer and closer to where we need to be. Really close. I'll try that. Oh yeah. Good call, thank you. Okay, so we're kind of going in, but I'm not hitting the bottom yet. So I need to go a little bit further. I also I got it a little off straight, so I need to go back and straighten it out a bit. Yeah, I figured that, you know, maybe some people would want to watch when I do this, and, you know, I'm going to be cutting anyway, so I might as well throw up a camera. Alright, we're just about there. And I'm also going to take off the bottom edge so that it's not quite a sharp edge. Let's see if that fits. Okay, that fits. Now what I'm going to do, it's still a little, I mean, once I put it in there, it's going to be stuck. So I'm just going to take it with this wheel. I'm just going to go down just a little bit. Make the side a little bit shinier. And I could probably just actually keep, sometimes I'll shape the bottom and then I'll pop it off and then I'll shape the top. This one, if I get it really straight, I can probably just use the same, just round off the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to get it nice and straight at an angle. Gonna double check that. I'm just gonna go a little bit more. Okay, I like that. So what I'm gonna do now, so I'm trying to get this really fast, just so I can get a lot done, because I think that would be cool. So that one is already marked, so I'm just gonna leave that one. So I haven't tried this before, so let's see, let me move this here. I haven't tried this before, so I don't even know if it works. And just like, I need to get my paper towels. All right, got my paper towels. Yeah, I'll be giving it a dome. Before I do that, I want to get these others glued on. So while I do this, I'll zoom back out. I want to get these others glued on, not glued on, but placed on their dop sticks so that they can be cooling and I can just go, go, go. Let's dry this off. And what I'm going to try to do is use this as a stencil. It might not be worth it. It might just be best to use my actual stencil. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm not going to do that. So, flip this over. And I'll just check the fit for each one of them. There's one. And again, I'm using this as synthetic opal just because it's what I have to work on right now. It's a little bit easier because I'm not as stressed about losing material because I have chunks of it. So it's a little bit less stressful than real opal because it's a lot. Well, it is cheaper than natural opal, but I have more of it, so I'm not as stressed about messing up. All right, between this piece and this piece, this is a thicker piece. Flip this back over. Yeah, that one I don't like where I have the circle, so I'm just gonna get rid of the circle. Off. No, I'm these ones. So the one of the main reasons why I'm doing these in synthetic opal is because I'm planning on putting these on like my Etsy shop or whatever, and I need some example rings. But I do have lightning ridge doublets that I plan to use with these. That will be. Of course, they'll cost more, but they're going to be a little bit more custom. Like you'll have to message me to say, "Hey, I want an Australian opal or a natural opal, and then I'll show them what I have, and I just put that circle in the same spot. All right, whatever. So now I conveniently dropped a bunch of toothpicks on the floor like 2 weeks ago, and of course I never picked them up, but now they're in easy reach. All right, I have my dop stick. Let's get rid of some of that cat hair. So hopefully I can cut these off a little bit better this time than that other time. No, Toby, if you know a good place to get Australian rough, I'm looking. I'm always looking for more rough opal. Oh, you should see this. You probably like this. Look at this chunk I have. I haven't worked on it yet, but let me zoom in for this. I'm a little intimidated to work on this. So, trying to get right here. There's a really good corner of color that I'm trying to get to flash for you. And then there's another corner right here. But yeah, so I mean, I think the only usable spots are right here, but there's kind of color all of it, and it's a nice big chunk of that black opal. So I'm excited for it to start working on it. Once I ever get my courage up for it. This is better. I really should get a regular knife up here. They're all in my garage where I work on my other stuff. I make these inlay rings, and I have a nice good utility knife out there, but I keep on forgetting to bring one up here. One more, hopefully. Grind those toothpicks. No. Yeah, right now they're not splitting. That's what happened with this other one that I chucked over there. Is that they split? When I snapped it off, it split. But I find if I push down enough with this X-Acto blade, that I can get off the tips without them splitting. So yeah, so there we have that. Now, go ahead and add some wax to them. Is the music too loud? It's kind of loud when I don't have the machine on. It's also getting warm in here because I don't have my fan on. I'll turn that back on. I got a Soda Stream a couple weeks ago, and I like it. I kind of stopped drinking a lot of pop. Oh, that's pretty cool. I stopped drinking pop quite a bit. I was drinking a whole lot of pop, but I still like that carbonated flavor. So now I use a Soda Stream. What are you laughing at? Oh,
that you're telling everybody about your Soda Stream.
Yes, well, thank you. Now I have a better knife.
Yeah, so that you don't cut yourself on those toothpicks with your X-Acto knife. I was watching you do that. I was like, ah.
What's that? Without a little bit of danger.
What's what?
What's life without a little danger? Like,
what is life?
Opal cutting is kind of boring.
Well, I also saw you grinding the opal with your hand.
Oh, that's fine.
You're not gonna rub off your fingerprints?
And I'm not really ever touching it. It just looks like I am.
Yeah.
It's a.
Am I distracting you?
No.
Okay. Should I go away?
No, you can see me. You gonna wave to the camera?
No, I'm not.
I texted Sarah because I thought Austin and Michaela would like to watch this, but I don't know if she saw that. I really should try that tape, but with this stuff, since I kind of grind through the wax, I don't know how well the tape would work for that since these are so small. But I read on an opal or like a lapidary form that they really like this double-sided Gorilla tape that's been working really well for them. Toby, if you are, if you want, I can help you with that. I have to get some different tools, or I can get you the opal if you have the tools. I've watched a couple I haven't done one yet, but I've watched a couple videos on how to do it, and it's basically the same process. You just, instead of using a crushed inlay, you just grind the whole chunk of opal. You first cut the inner piece out. Yeah, that's the tape I want to try, but these are too small.
Did you show them?
Oh, no.
I'm being your Vanna White.
This is that tape that a lot of the people on some of the lapidary groups have been saying works really well for them. So I'm going to try it on my bigger opals and my other stones, but these are too small. With that opal, that solid opal ring like that, I wonder how much pressure it can stand up. I'm kind of rough with my rings, and so I kind of wonder if I'd be able to stand up to wear and tear. Because I do rely, with these inlay rings I rely on the inlay or the ring itself to kind of provide a little bit of protection for the opal and the inlay. So I do wonder how those would hold up. Yeah, I should really try one. Maybe I'll have to pick a color I really like and make one. Because I have the thing that spins. Why am I forgetting? The lathe. I have the lathe. I even have a chuck that I could use so I can actually carve out the inside or actually shape the inside. And then I have the normal ring mandrel that I use for these rings. So I think I would have all the tools I need to make it. Yeah, I think it will hold up pretty good because it does have, well, at least depending on which kind you get, it does have the stuff I use has the resin in it because I like first of all, I like the colors that the resin can get, so it gives me a little bit more variety to use for the rings, and I think that resin helps kind of protect it a little bit from impacts and cracking. Okay, one more, then we'll start putting the opals on, and then I'll start cutting some more. Ouch. Remember, don't leave your hand over the fire when you're doing this. It does hurt a little bit.
Don't do that.
No. I see that, Lauren, you're so concerned about my safety then. Yeah.
I figure you're going to take your hand away from the flame when it starts to burn you.
Well, yeah, but
slicing your finger is done. Like, that's not an option. Oops.
All right. So, time to add the opals on. That's awesome. I've slowly started selling more opals. I usually still have to put them in settings and stuff usually for me to sell them, but I've sold, I've gone through some of the batches that you gave me completely, so that's always kind of cool. Shoot. There goes some wax. Wax down. Can we get it back up? Are you mainly working with? Oh shoot! Are you too? See, that's a little too runny. That's more runny than I like it. But Toby, are you mainly still working with Ethiopian, or are you working with other ones? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so see how this one doesn't really stay up by itself. I got it way too hot. But at least I'll have a good bond with the opal. Alright. Next opal. Have you got any with a good honeycomb pattern? I'll show you guys one that I've been trying to figure out which way to do it, because it has, in one orientation, it has really good honeycomb pattern. But in the other orientation, I can make it a lot bigger. I'm going to have to reorient these in a second. Yeah, it is kind of stressful buying rough Lightning Ridge. I found a pretty good source. He hasn't been to the mine back for a bit, so he doesn't have. I've been checking back with him a bit, and then what I'm looking for lately is good doublet material, really to go with kind of go with these rings, so that I can increase the opal options I have. But yeah, in February before COVID, before all the COVID restrictions, I was actually in Australia, and I was planning on going to the Lightning Ridge itself, but it didn't work. Well, I broke my retainer in my mouth, and it was kind of making me hurt a little bit, so I had to cancel that trip. I was there for a work trip, and I had to finish work and then go back and be able to go to the dentist. But hopefully, I'm hoping that I get to go again, and that time I'll go to the mines. I think it'd be fun to go there and just buy, a bunch of rough opal. Okay, almost there, almost ready to start cutting again. Oh, that one is another one I got way too hot. Oh well. Shoot. This stuff can make a mess when you get it too hot. Come on. And this is the last one. Alright, last piece of opal. And then I'll need to reorient some of these, but that shouldn't take too long. Okay. So this one, it's kind of cool at a funky angle. I'm gonna have to fix that. Ouch. Okay, so again, I want the bottom to be flat, which will end up being the actual bottom. So I want it to be flat, and I'm just using my eyeballs. Okay, that one is ready to just wait for it to cool down a little bit so it doesn't shift. This one actually looks almost good. Granted, this one will be a little harder to set even because I have one side covered with wax. That's good enough for now. This one it's also at a wonky angle. I have to fix that. That one looks good. This one I think I might not have gotten hot enough to seal to the stone very well. That's hot. Okay, that looks good. And last one, let's see how well it is. That just needs a little bit change on the side. Okay, and that one is good. So we are set to start cutting more of them. And I am getting really warm. So we're gonna finish this one, and then we'll see how it goes. I'll do whatever I want. All right, see ya. Thanks for joining, Toby. See ya next time. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just round off the top, and we only want, I don't want it too far up, so I'm going to take about halfway down and then give it a shallow dome. So I'm going to cut it pretty aggressively until I get close to what I think the height I want. But I do want to make sure the stone is even. So now I can check it. And I kind of like where the height is already. So now I'm just going to do a tiny bit more and make sure the edges are really even. Now I'm going to take to this and basically just kind of round out the top, and then I'll be ready to polish. I'll polish them all at the end. And again, I want them to be kind of shallow, so I am pushing into this wheel to kind of help give me a nice round top. And that's really all I want to use for that one. I don't want to cut too much away. Now that looks, yeah, I just want to take down the very top a little bit more. You do have to be careful because this stuff, I mean, these wheels can eat up your opal really fast. Actually, now that I never use this wheel on the sides, I do want to take it with this wheel just to make sure it's all nice and polished. And And then these are kind of more finishing wheels. They don't really eat a lot. They still eat it pretty fast, but not as much of those other wheels. And right now I'm trying to get rid of all the little, edges that there might be. I'm trying to like even it out. I'm using the light to watch the reflection to make sure it looks really even. And that actually looks really good to me. And I'm going to spend a lot of time on this one because it's more of a polish that's going to help me again get rid of any dips or crevices that might still be there. But it will make it look nice and good and get ready for the polish, which is on this end here. Again, you want to move back and forth on your wheels. You don't want to wear your wheels out in one spot. And I think it looks pretty good, but there's a spot that's not super round on the side. I'm trying to feel it. Yeah, I don't like the way it looks real quick right there. So I'm just going to try to round out that corner. That's better. Okay, so now it's going to be hard to see. At the end, I'll put up close to the camera. And that looks good. So that one is ready to polish. We'll save that for the end. Let's do a blue one. So this one, I have a lot of material. I wasn't very careful when I cut it. I should have been more careful. And so I have a lot of color I need to get rid of, or a lot of opal I need to get rid of. So I'm going to definitely use this have your duty wheel. And if I had more time, I didn't prepare enough, I would have trimmed it with my saw a little bit better. Because it hurts to waste this much. I mean, I could have trimmed this away and used it in like an inlay ring. Man, I think I like this color of opal. It's pretty. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Eric's wife. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Good. Yeah, it's really fun. Like, I like doing this stuff with the opals and mainly I like doing opals, just because I like the colors and everything. And it did take me a little bit. Like, I've been probably doing this for almost cutting opals. My first opal I cut, I think in October 2000. I think 2017. I cut it by hand using sandpaper. And then from there, I kind of spiraled and got all this stuff. And I really like it, but I'm definitely slower. Like I'm teaching myself, and like I just barely feel confident enough to like make these rings. Although they're not too hard to make. You buy these rings, like I just buy them. This one's sterling silver. This one is gold filled, which means it has a layer of, it's not gold plated. Gold plated is different than gold filled. Gold filled has an actual layer of gold around the core metal. And I like it because, unlike plated, it doesn't really wear away because it's an actual, yeah, it's not super thick, but it's still a full layer of gold. But yeah, you buy the rings and then you kind of just shape the stone to fit in them. All right, now I'm getting closer, so I'm just going to go down to this one, get even closer. I'm wondering if I'll get if I'll get through all 6. I'd like to. Okay, we're getting close to where this will fit in there. Still a ways to go, but we're closer. This is called kind of basically like a cab machine for cabbing. Basically what we're doing is called making cabochones. And so they call it a cab machine, or a mostly a cab machine. And this specific one is a Diamond Pacific Pixie. They come in different sizes. So I got the Pixie because it fits basically in my computer room. The other ones are quite a bit larger, and I think I'd rather have those out in like a garage or something. Alright, let's test this. Not quite getting there. So 6 might have been a really ambitious goal. So I might just do 4, or maybe just 2. I'll figure that out once I shape this one. These ones are synthetic opal, so I bought these ones. But I do like going to Spencer, Idaho, and collecting the Idaho opal there. And then I haven't made it to go get the Idaho star garnet yet. That's on my wish list to do. And I've also gone to Oregon and collected some sunstones. Those are really cool. I'll show you guys one that I went and got it at the Oregon Sunstone Mines. And then I had it cut by a cutter here in Boise. His name's Robert Coggins. He does a really good job. And then I put it in a pendant, and it looks really, really good. I need to list it for sale still, though, but I really like how it turned out. Yeah, that'd be fun. Like, organize a trip and go find some of this stuff. I really want to get some of the Idaho star garnet because those are nice because you don't facet them. You cut them with a machine like this. Almost there. It's basically there, but I'm a little uneven. Okay, it fits. So now we're going to go ahead, and I have, if you look and see here, I have quite a bit of opal that I need to get rid of. So now we're going to start shaping the top and just taking it down quite a bit. I have to remember where Riley is, but the ones I know of are pretty close to, well, they're probably about an hour away from Spokane, not Spokane, not Spokane, but Coeur d'Alene. They're about an hour, they're up north, about an hour away from there. It's called the Emerald Creek area. Okay, now I'm basically at this height I want. But now I can take it to this wheel and really kind of shape it the way I want. Again, I'm only going to go about, I want it, the edge to go to almost to the top of the opal. So I'm going to take it down and I want it to be nice and even. I know it'd be fun. It's definitely on my list of things to do. I also want to go to the mines in Montana and look for sapphires. I buy boxes. If you see my YouTube channel, you'll see me go through like a box of sapphire gravel where you try to find sapphires, and that's pretty fun too. It's getting so close. One problem with this one is it is slightly off kilter, off center, so it's not a good flat level. So I'm having to compensate, and that's a little annoying. Okay, looking good. All right, now just to do this one, and I think I'll just do, I'll just cut these two, and then we'll actually make the rings so that we don't have to wait for the other ones. So think about it. I have a silver one, and I have a gold one. I have a blue opal, and I have a white opal. Someone can tell me which color goes with what. If I had, if I was fancy, I'd do a pull. All right, that looks good. So now what we're going to do is polish these two. So the polishing wheel is on this side. You can't really see it. And I have to put the little bubbler sideways. And then, once I make sure it is bubbling water, sometimes I have to fill it more full with water. And now it's bubbling right on there, and now I just polish it away. Okay, that one is good. Now we'll do this one. And it looks like we have a request for blue with silver, white with gold. So, sounds good to me. If you use all these wheels the right way, the polishing part doesn't take very long at all. You just have to make sure you get all the scratches out from the previous wheel. So I don't want to see any scratches from this wheel after I finish this wheel. Okay, so before I take them off, let's see if I can do a close-up with some bright light for you guys. I have to thank Lauren for letting me use her webcam. Alright, so let's see if I can get these in here. Let me work on focus. Okay. No, looks like I have to do manual focus. So there's the blue one. And you can still see I have some scratches on the top, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue those into the stone. I can kind of buff those out even once it's on the ring. So then the white one is going to be harder to see the color, but it has flashes of green. And that one, it still has that little bump, but the ring will actually take care of that and you won't be able to see it anymore. So it is a little uneven, but for these ones, I don't want to spend too much time. The point of these ones is to kind of get them out, finish them, and then they'll look good on the pictures. And I can go ahead and go forward with that. So I'm going to show you guys a trick I found out. So if you put these in the freezer, the wax gets cold enough that it kind of pops off. But who has time to walk down to a freezer? Don't do this at home. Have you guys ever used these upside down? Don't do this, but it works. It's like a mini freezer right there. And then once it's cold enough, they should hopefully just pop right off. And ooh, that is cold. There's one. I'm probably poisoning myself. I should probably relook at the MSDN or whatever that's called. And there's number 2. Those little 2 dots. Now, before I can actually set them, I need to do one more thing with the lapidary machine. I actually need to remove the hard edges on the bottoms. There's a sharp edge. I mean, it's not going to cut me or anything, but what it does is, if we get rid of it, it makes it a lot easier to set. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. To do this with a bigger stone is so much easier. And now I'm just going to clean off the back because I still have some wax on there and some marker from when I marked it before. Okay, we are ready to put the rings on, or to put on the ring. Now what I'm going to do is actually use a glue. You can, with these ones, you can make it so that you just fold the metal over the edges, but I find with the glue it helps quite a bit, and you can make it look a lot more even. So I'm actually going to wash these off really quick with water, and then we'll actually use acetone to get it ready so that there's no oils and stuff. And I'll just be right back. Okay. And I will actually use some cardboard paper stuff to keep my work area a little bit clean. Okay, so we said blue and silver and white and gold. So I don't want to push it in too far because it's hard to get out, but I do like to check the fit. So this one I made a little bit too small, but it'll still look good. All right. So first thing I do is I get my acetone. Lauren lent me her nail polish removal. I don't know if she still knows I have it. She probably went and bought some more because it just disappeared magically. And I do like wearing gloves for this because that way I don't have to worry about getting it on my fingers when we're working with the epoxy. I'm going to be using a 2-part epoxy. It has a 15... Well, it's already... I was going to do 6 opals, but I would have to shape them all and everything. So I was just going to at least do 2 that I had shaped and get them in there. And then, you know, when I'm not on a stream, I can finish the other 4. Because, yeah, I'm actually doing it. I want to do 1 of each color. But this will be enough to get going. Okay, the other thing I have that I borrowed from Lauren are these makeup removal thingies. So I don't like to use this one because it gets fuzzies. So I use this the back side, or I don't know if it's the back side or not. You guys can tell me. I didn't wash the opals. I just washed the rings. The opals should still be clean enough, basically. So now I'm going to clean out the inside of the setting where it's going to go. Let me zoom in for you guys again. And then let me lower the brightness. Well, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. Oh well. I wish I could make it show you better. Let me see if I can move this. Let's see. Does this work? Huh. How can I do this? There we go. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so clean out where I'm going to do the setting. I should just 3D print a camera holder. And then I'm also going to clean the back of the opals. Just so that any oils or anything, what I'm cleaning with this stuff is oils. I don't want any of like my finger oils on this so that the bond is really good. Then I use this 330 2-part epoxy. And it's equal parts. One's the hardener, one's the resin. And I got that out of the camera, but you'll just have to pretend that you see what I'm doing. I'm just putting a little bit of dabbed. Let's see if I can rotate this. There we go. I'm just putting equal amounts on this paper. Or close to equal amounts. And then I use one of my handy toothpicks that fell on the floor, and I just left them there because they're in easy reach now. And then I'm going to mix it. When I'm doing doublets and triplets, you have to mix it a lot slower and carefully, because especially triplets, this is the same stuff I use, but it gets this bubbles in here if you mix it like this, and then those bubbles can be seen when you're looking at the stone from underneath the clear cap that's on triplets. A trick around that is you can very briefly heat it up with like a gun or torch, and not a gun, but like a flame gun, more like a torch. Like I use this little butane torch, and that makes it a little bit more liquidy, but you don't want to heat it up too much because it can definitely burn, and then it loses some of its stickiness properties. So we don't need to mix it. We just need to make sure it's really well mixed, but it doesn't take too long. And so then it doesn't take much. So this is gold. So white goes in gold. I'm just putting just a little dab of this glue in the very bottom. It doesn't take much, and I don't want to use very much because then it's going to squish out the side and make a mess. I just want a little drop like that. You can see that there. So then I'm going to take the white opal. I'm going to carefully set it in, and I'm going to push it down. And there is, I still have to do one more thing. So now I can just leave it. And about 15 minutes, I usually let it overnight, but the instructions on the resin say that it hardens in 15 minutes and workable in 2 hours. Once it's done, I take a burnishing tool. Let me show you that right here. So once this is hard and dry, I take this tool right here, and I carefully kind of push the metal up over the sides so it kind of bends over it. So there's one ring. Oh, it doesn't look so good. Oh, you can't even see it. I don't know if you saw that part. So I push again when it dries. I use this tool and I push the very edges. Let's see if I can get you to see it. The autofocus isn't working very well. Anyways, I push up the edges of the gold right around the opal. So now, what I like to do is I like to tip these upside down like this. If they stay, once I'm done, I'll actually use this and then use it as a weight to keep the opal in there. So now, enough talking. Let's do the blue and silver. So again, I'm just using a little dot. Getting a little bit in there. And then we put in the blue opal. And if we can get that in there, uh-oh. It seems that it didn't actually fit all the way. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to clear that out. And clean this back off. And I thought we fit it, but let me try fitting that again. Okay, I think I can get it to fit. I'm gonna have to really shove it in there, but we're gonna go ahead and try to get it in there. The metal will move a little bit. I mean, I don't want to move the metal a lot. But so now I'm just going to do this, see how it's facing up. I'm just going to put the opal over it and try to push it so that it pops in there. Yeah, it's not liking that. Let's try this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna. That one's. I'm gonna have to take this back to the wheel and fix. But you can kind of get a view of this one. So let's get that back out. Clean that back out of there because I don't want that drying in there. And now, if I hurry, I won't have to get more glue out. So let's see if I can get that reduced in size a little bit. And put these in a safe spot, which just means, you know, out of the way. And I mean, that's basically the stream. I'll keep the stream on if you guys want to keep hanging out. But that is how you make an opal ring using synthetic opal. So let me put this back down. That's a good point. Well, yeah, that actually will be better. I thought about doing that, but let me go back to my paper. And I can carefully, so I have these flat nose pliers a little bit, and if I just kind of bend it a little carefully make it wider, enough that I can slip it in. This is easier than cutting it. So I'm glad you said something because I don't know why I didn't think of it again. So now let's see if that was enough. And now that I widen it, I am going to use just a little bit more glue just to make sure that like any cracks or anything get taken care of. This one edge just doesn't want to go in. This is annoying. This one will have more work afterwards to kind of get the metal to look smooth again afterwards. I'm going to have to use that burnishing tool and really work at it so that it has that nice smooth finish. But the nice thing with metal is that you can do that. And I think I just got glue on the top of the opal, so I'm going to have to kind of repolish it. Let's see if I can just squeeze it down with this. Well, that opal is not going anywhere. And I'm going to have to repolish the top, but that was still faster than recutting it. So you'll notice that when I bring this close, I don't know if you can see, the top isn't as shiny as it was. Alright, so just trying to get this side to stay down. I'm just going to hold this for 15 minutes. This is the exciting part of the stream. So let's say who wants to count to 15 times 60? Yeah, but I'll still be able to burnish that out nice and easy. And then I'll just take this. I can actually take it on the polisher if I'm careful. I can just take it on the polisher and use it while it's still in the ring. All right, so, and I might shape it a little bit once it's there. So we are done. Here is a close-up of the 2 rings we made. Okay, and then I'm going to turn off the autofocus. All right, here's the gold and white one. Let me back out the focus just a little bit. All right, here's the gold and white one. Again, once it dries tomorrow, I'm going to take that burnisher, bend those edges over. And then here is the silver and blue one. And again, tomorrow, once it dries, I'm going to take the burnisher and smooth out those edges so they're not quite so jumbly. And then I also need to take this opal and repolish the top. But that said, I mean, it still makes a really pretty ring. I'm a pretty good ring modeler if I think so myself. My fingers are naturally beautiful. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today. Let's put this back up here. Zoom back out. And that's what I'm going to do for the stream today. Thanks for joining. That was pretty fun. Lots of comments. That was awesome. Yeah, I do think they turn out. You'll see these on my Etsy channel soon, because I'm going to make the 4 others at some point this week, and then I'm going to put those on there, and it's going to be cool where I have a bunch of colors of opal, and then I'm going to try to make it so you can select the color of opal you want, and then but yeah, this was fun. I'll have to do this more often and make these rings. I have quite a few of them. Oh, and then I did want to show you guys this opal, but I'll show you guys next time. It's that way you guys have to watch the stream again. So, all right, well, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you guys later.